Welcome to Stone Soup Poetry. Welcome everyone. Welcome one and everyone, as Homestar Runner would say. Our feature tonight is the original Dot Girl herself, or at least that's the title of her poetry collection, Linda Carney Goodrich, past live Stone Soup a past live Stone Soup feature. I don't know why I said reacher, but we have had her grace us with her presence before in the older days when we were in the middle of Boston proper, just right across from Park Street Tea Stop in James and Jan's own church, home of the Black Seeds Writers Group, which I'm sure we'll get a name drop later on. And not content to rest on her laurels with being a one-time Stone Soup feature. She's probably featured before I hosted. She has published a book through Nixes Mate Press, which is not only a book publisher, but also a seasonal journal. You should definitely check them out and consider submitting. They do really good work and have a fun website. And to Mr. iPhone, who's texting me directly, yes, you can access the recording later. It will be a YouTube link, and it will be tagging the feature poet as well. So enjoy, or you can search her name on YouTube, and it'll probably come up there as well. Without further ado, we want to get to the open mic. Again, anyone who wants to participate, let me know. Again, we're going $19.99 on the chat room. If you want to read and you've never been here before, press 1. Otherwise, I assume you're part of Linda's entourage. So her crew that she brings everywhere. Linda, I should also say, is also very involved with the Menino Arts Center, and she was graceful enough to and generous enough to have me feature earlier this month as part of a very fine group of poets. She's featured Tony B and several others, and she's featured me in the past before everything went to hell and the pandemic happened. So I'm very grateful for the Menino, and she also featured me when everything went to hell during the hell period as part of the Menino Arts Center's program. So I'm very grateful for the work she does. One of the workhorses in the Boston scene. God knows Boston's trying to eliminate us and get us out of here. But so I'm very glad to anyone who has staying power. And I'm looking very much forward to hearing her read from Dot Girl. I've heard some selections prior, and I can't wait to buy the book, and there'll be links to it in the chat. For those of you ungrateful bastards who haven't bought a copy yet. Up first on the open night, Mike, we have entered the Ramnator 5000 through, and our first featured open micer is going to be featured open micer. This doesn't make sense. I'm trying not to say so I just add nonsense words. Let's welcome up Mr. John Wesseck.
Hi. Two men in cheap suits approached a balding man at a cash register. Mr. Breslin, FBI. The shorter of the two showed his badge. I'm Agent Cooper, and this is Agent Jackson. I'm afraid we have some bad news. Breslin took the agents into an office where two photos sat on the desk between a coffee cup and laptop computer. The smaller was of a woman with shaved eyebrows, presumably Breslin's wife, while the larger was of a Labrador retriever. Your dog is a Russian spy, the taller agent said. He was blond, and his cheeks still showed the scars of his battles with teenage acne. A spy? Breslin collapsed into his chair. Not Muffy. Muffy? More like Svetlana. Agent Jackson's lips formed a sardonic curl. Have you noticed anything suspicious? Cooper asked. Like burying false passports and large amounts of cash in the backyard, for example, Jackson added. No, Breslin shook his head. Nothing like that, but what? Cooper asked. She has a stuffed monkey that she won't let me go near. Jackson turned to Cooper. Could be a suicide pill or some kind of code book. But how? Breslin asked. The KGB runs an obedience school in Petropavlovsk, Cooper explained. They teach 'em all the tricks. Jackson gave a world-weary shrug. Sit, stay, roll over, eavesdropping, cryptography, counter-surveillance, black bag operations. I can't believe it. Breslin got up and started pacing. Not after the way she fetches my shoes or looks at me with those adoring eyes. How'd you meet? Cooper asked. She followed me home from the park. Breslin picked up the picture from his desk and stared at it. His voice seemed far away, as if lost in the past. No caller. I put ads in the paper, but no one claimed her. Doesn't that seem a little suspicious? Jackson stepped in front of Breslin to shake him out of his reverie. I mean, look at you. You're no dog whisperer. But why would Russians be interested in an assistant manager at Denny's? Breslin put the photo down. Trade secrets, perhaps, Cooper shrugged. They've been stealing all our critical technology for years, Jackson explained. Which is why we need your cooperation, Cooper added. We want you to play along and find out what Muffy is looking for. Jackson picked up the photograph and set it down. We need you to put this collar on Muffy. Cooper removed a pink rhinestone-studded collar from his jacket pocket and handed it to Breslin. It contains a microphone and GPS receiver, Jackson explained. I don't think I'll ever trust anyone again. Breslin turned the collar over in his hands before putting it in the desk drawer. In counterintelligence, the world's a hall of mirrors. Jackson laid a comforting hand on Breslin's shoulder. I'll do it, Breslin sighed. If you need to contact us, place an ad in the Craigslist missing connections section stating accordion playing mom looking to please a man. Cooper placed at Jackson. Check it twice a day. Oh, yeah. Jackson rubbed his hands together. Roll up your sleeve. Cooper removed a hypodermic needle from his pocket. What's that? Breslin took a step back. Rabies shot, Jackson said, just in case.
Thank you, John. And now we go to Ms. Jan Rowe.
Hi, this is called Dare I Write and Read This? Boeing whistleblower, a longtime employee in the Carolinas, recently found dead, shot in the head. He prophesied his death, asked that it not be called suicide, as it was murder. His death amid days of testimony against Boeing, blowing the whistle on shoddy work, dangerous work. Well, reminds me of Karen Silkwood, 1946 to 1974, employee of Kerr-McGee Nuclear Plant in Oklahoma. Killed, murdered, age 28, via car wreck, as she was en route with the file for investigative reporters. Now, file missing. But the Los Alamos top scientist, Dr. George Voetes, he declared there was a legitimate amount of plutonium in Karen Silkwood's body, whatever that is. A great movie, Meryl Streep as Karen, Cher co-stars. So in April of '81, there was a play produced at University of Massachusetts Park Square, Boston, about this. Now, the National Security Council, the NSC, they found 40 pounds of plutonium on an oil tanker en route to Israel. There's a supposed smuggling ring of plutonium by the CIA, the M15, and Mossad. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. You might be able to tell I start with the Remnantier tends to start with the least shy people and works their way down. Without any further ado, Mr. Bill Lewis. Without any further ado, Bill Lewis.
I'm trying to figure out how to spell plutonium, like Pluto plutonium. Oh, well, excuse me, I'm terribly sorry. I was distracted because, some of us have lives to lead. I have issues to deal with. I want to tell you how wonderful it is to teach high school. I am just having a blast. My kids are the best kids in the entire universe. There we are. We just finished writing this application. We have written a web server. So we are just doing great things. So my students rock, high school rocks, kids these days are just doing wonderful, wonderful things. And I get to be part of it. Woohoo! Yay us! Yay future! Now, to my more formal address to the audience, let me include, yes, there we go, as this is addressed to the animal behind me. I don't know if you have had to deal with such beasts, but there it is. Cats on beds. My cat on my bed, if it is indeed my cat. Perhaps more accurately, I am his human. Wherever my pheromones are, he puts his. He never sleeps on Sandy's coat, but always sleeps on mine. I'm the ear scratcher, the bone jaw kneader. Oh, and claw-like fingernails that feel so good through that big, thick fur. There's always a bowl of food for him, but not for me. We have to cook our own food. Oliver, 57 pounds of lump of cat. He doesn't even move if he doesn't have to. I use him as a dumbbell sometimes to do my weight lifting. Cat, 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 cat. I bury my face in his fur and inhale that lovely fragrance. Eau de chat. An addiction I must have more. Cat, cat, cat.
We'll leave Bill back to being in his world where he's happiest. And we will thank you, Bill. And we'll give you over to as we're going down the our short but sweet open mic, we're going to bring you now to Mr. Richard Spizak. Who hopefully will unmute.
There we
There you go.
go. Hello there, my friends. I have a little something for you to hopefully bring a smile to your face. I do have some bad news. I was unable to secure the rights to sell the Trump brand Korans, but I still have a shot at the Upanishads and the Tibetan Book of the Dead. There's still a chance. So I'm looking for all of you to buy into the franchise. And with that being said, let me share this. This is called The Most Colorful Zillionaire. Let us take up a collection, not to embarrass this selection, of this electoral eminence or establish some kind of special precedence, lest any question his noble mobile supremacy or dare to question the evidence of his ultimate legitimacy, where any candidate whose predominancy comes into question during this or any closely examined editorialized electoral selection. Everyone knows if he runs, he wins, or else it's a clear and obvious to anyone's sin. And yet, let us break our wallets, spill our talents for this valiant, albeit errant knight, and spill our purses as he nurses the smallest judicial reverses, since daring, scaring Donnie's karma has been suspended as easily as he has models upended. He dismisses his valet, sends him to the darkened alley, and at the very start of the party, But don't forget, send your pennies and your dollars. He'll send out dogs to frighten and brighten those electric spiky collars. And yes, his southern exposure of the bitchy batchy barrels of stinking red inking corporate drivel, reputations still shrivel. And while they drag his bankers to the brink, for Russian rubles rarely offer that kind of money and jewels for such still unemployed fools. But this guy has proven to Putin, and that's why he's rooting. Turns he round the daily leakage, hands off to the waiting ballet buckets, twice as violent as his campaign speakage. Send your money to him urgent before they place him before the legal civic surgeons who digest and disgorge his phony fiscal costume scourge. So in the cell goes one more bozo-rific greedy buffoon. Lucky the civic mansion still has room for even this rough cast, nasty old baboon.
Rooting for Putin, darn tootin'. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Richard. We're gonna keep on going to next one chosen by my Ramdinator 5000. Let's go to Mr. Ken Johnson.
So I'll just give this a little preamble. This is not something I would actually do. I was reading a lot of Gwendolyn Brooks because I like the way she speaks, and I just wanted to practice finding that kind of a voice. So, as I said, I'm not this kind of guy, but I'm going to read for you something I named Hugh Mannequin. I've sat in the front window long enough. I want to sit out where the back boys are rough. I want to be out where the tough boys are mean, and they don't play with dolls and their money is green. And I want to have legs that don't just hang from chairs. I want long black mesh legs that go all the way there. My mother don't know what I keep in my purse, my lipstick, my makeup, my whole universe. While these good boys tease good girls they wish would be bad, it's always we better ones that they first have. I want young men seeing the all that I've got, and I want to find out which man will take his shot. I should also tell you I wrote 4 of these, but I can't find 3 of them. So if we do more readings later, you'll be spared more of this. Thank you. Until later, if we do that.
Thank you, Ken. And up next, I would love to welcome, let's see, Ryan Timmons is coming in like a player or two on an old school arcade game. Here comes a new challenger. Ryan Timmons, if you're ready, we can put you on.
I am in a poetry workshop with Professor Monahan, and one of our prompts was to listen in on other people's conversation and use one of their lines in a poem. So my first line is what I heard people say, and this is what I made of it. Wonder what made her decide to move on. Wonder what is out there we have yet to uncover. Wonder when the world will finally be in peace. Wonder when my voice will end, cracks in silence. Wonder what's fear, why one's terror can be another's hope. Wonder if the stars hold secrets. Wonder if love is a forever flame or a spark, there and gone. Wonder when the rain washes away sorrow. Wonder when time is decided for all end. Wonder if creativity is as black and white as love and hate. Wonder if perception is our truth. Wonder if we have control over our choices or destiny decides. Wonder in which we comprehend our way.
Thank you very much, Ryan. So nice to have you join us, and much love to Gloria Monahan, who is multiple times Snowsuit feature, has at least featured for us in 2-3 different locations, and continues to recommend students to us. So thanks so much for finding your way here. Anyone else who wants to participate in the open mic, definitely press 1 in the chat. I'm doing this like 1998-99 chat. Who else am I going to bring on? Yes, we're getting closer to the end. Let's welcome up for our musical interlude. Yes, we have music sometimes here too, and it's always enjoyable when it's Mr. Ethan Mackler, the person I call the pulse of Stone Soup and the poetry scene in general.
Thank you. And I might be leaving a bit early, so if I disappear, don't worry. Don't mean to be rude.
I'll blame it on witchcraft. All right, thank you, Ethan. Always good to hear from you. And it looks like we're closing out the open mic with an appearance by our seminal closer these days. Ask him about his weekly poem column. It's All One Thing, which features every Thursday morning at 11 o'clock at oddballmagazine.com. Also, especially for National Poetry Month coming up in April, considering submitting to Oddball Magazine if you're a writer, poet, artist, or what have you. Oddballmagazine.com, good diversity, diverse array of poets, and with more coming strong for National Poetry Month in April. Mr. James Van Looy, you're up.
Thank you. So I've got a poem here called Making the Bed. And this is for, we just had our 35th anniversary, Jan and I. So this is for that. Making the Bed. The ever-spinning sheet on bed of midnight two huddling forms, simpatico, completely spirit-led, listing, twisting like colony of worms. Time on time, I go to make that bed, only to find that cute female form of my rouser mate has again now led to the sheet, 90 degrees, like a berm, rearranging itself on our floating bed. Were there nothing to platonic form that has managed to manifest, has led to this magic moment, sheet as worm, who at once covers us in the corporeal warmth as it makes the wormhole real. And here's a song to go with it. I stand at your gate, and the song that I sing is of moonlight. I stand and I wait for the touch of your hand in the June night. The roses are sighing. A moonlight serenade. The stars are aglow. And tonight, how their light sets me dreaming, my love. Do you know that your eyes are like stars brightly beaming? I bring you and sing you a moonlight serenade. Let us stray till break of day in love's valley of dreams. Just you and I, a summer sky, a heavenly breeze, kissing the trees. So don't let me wait. Come to me tenderly in the June night. I stand at your gate, and I sing you a song in the moonlight, a love song, my darling. A moonlight serenade. Thank you. Hello. You're not.
Thanks to James and thanks to everyone who participated in the open mic. We are now going to segue to our feature tonight. Entourage, be excited. Do emoji claps if you don't want to make yourself seen on the on camera. We're going to read the boilerplate first. I want to thank everyone for coming. We're going to be making more announcements for National Poetry Month features. The one who will be kicking off National Poetry Month next week on April 3rd will be Rich Boucher, who hails from New Mexico and has been featured very prominently on. He's been very prominent on several open mics here on the East Coast and elsewhere, and has been featured in a number of journals and anthologies. He has his own very collection, which we'll promote at another time, and hopefully we'll have more announcements. And I've already secured at least 2 features for May, which is Stone Soup's 53rd anniversary. So I hope you're part of that as well. But with that, I'm going to read the boilerplate for our friend and your old friend and everyone else who's never seen her before as new friend, Linda Carney Goodrich. The boilerplate reads as such. Linda Carney Goodrich, website in the chat, is a writer and teacher from Boston. Her work has appeared in Spoke 10, Lily Poetry Review, The MacGuffin, Nixes Mate Review, Anti-Heroin Chick, Literary Mama, Muddy River Poetry Review, Word Gathering, Journal of Disability, Poetry and Literature, Gyroscope Review, and others. Her work has been translated in Spanish and published in Colombia and Mexico. Several of her poems have been displayed at Boston City Hall as part of the Boston's Mayor Boston Mayor's Poetry Program. Linda is the poetry coordinator for the Menino Arts Center in Hyde Park and founder of Home Scholars of Boston. Her first book of poetry, Dot Girl, has been released as of this month with Nixes Mate Books and is available for purchase. Link also in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, people, friends of all ages, races, religions, creeds, it's time to put your hands together 30 to 45 times for exciting reading from her book, Dot Girl, Linda Carney Goodrich.
Hey, hey, thank you so much for having me. Can you hear me all right?
Perfectly well.
All right, great. It's always so good to see you. I think of Stone Soup as a fixture, a really important local poetry, Chad, and you do such a great job with all of the things that you do. It's just amazing that you're keeping it running, and thanks. It was wonderful to hear you all in the open mic. So I was saying earlier that I believe that poetry belongs to the people, and I like it all, and I like to hear it all. And I believe that people are entitled to wherever they are in their own progress in writing poetry, and I'm curious about all of it. So my book, Dot Girl, if you're not familiar with Boston area or that term, is about my life growing up in Dorchester. And I divided up into several sections related to, was there someone here who wanted to read at the open mic and didn't have a chance? Because I'm fine to let them go, Chad. I'm just seeing in the chat that maybe someone.
Carol and John are just listening tonight.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. I just wanted to say,
No, you're good.
I'm easy. Okay, great. I divide my book up into several sections, but not only these sections, but mostly sections that are related to post-traumatic stress disorder, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and the hopes that I can use my personal life story as an extended metaphor. So there's a trigger warning for everything, just so you know, but there's some joy and strength and resilience in it as well. But when I say I use my personal story as an extended metaphor, I believe that unprocessed trauma is stored in our bodies, and it's not just in individuals' bodies, it's in our families intergenerationally, and it's in our neighborhoods, in our cities, in our towns, in our states, and in our nations, and in our institutions. And that unsilencing ourselves and calling things by their true names is an important part of building resilience, healing, recovery, and change, both personally and I hope societally. Societally? What? Did I just make up something there? All right, so I'm gonna, it works. I'm gonna start in Dorchester. This poem was originally called Tinian Beach, but I thought the new title is more poetic, Where the Water Meets the Sky. We move in fog and reek of fish, sneaking out screenless windows at night, climbing down garage roofs or window tapping trees. In slick, shiny streets, under faint blue light, we dance in silence to the beach. The bosses and their workers snore through the perfect time. We scream our names like angry owls under the bridge by the beach. Your brother slept up there where the tunnel curves by the road. One night he saw us. He was singing the Rolling Stones. Knees winked from the holes in his filthy white pants. Car lights flashed him a spotlight of shame. We pretended not to hear him say, "Get out of here." The sand is sharp, but we go barefoot. Tiny pieces of glass prick our feet, reminding us of pain we haven't felt. The air is foul and alive as we strip down under each other's star-like eyes. The two of us back float, white stick bodies in bruised and murky water, only hands touching. We breathe out the memories of the day, stare at the light born before we were. You claim there's a spot where the water meets the sky, where souls swim free and no one calls them home. In the morning, we sneak back to wake our parents and remind them to take us to school. So this next poem is called Dot Girl. It's the title poem of the book. Thank you, Ken. I saw that. All right. Coming home from school, dread tight on my shoulders like a coat. Sunday dinners, how she'd cut half gallons of ice cream in slices to make it feed 12 of us. Government cheese, brandless canned food, white labels and black words that read simply beans, corn, peas. My brother telling me he was my sister. My other brother telling him only wimps wanted to be weathermen. Lying on the cool ground, staring at the clouds for hours with no boredom or impatience. Hiding under the water at the Murphy pool, believing no one could see me. Fighting all afternoon in the Garvey Park, surrounded by girls I punched. Michelle Ball in the face till she had an asthma attack. Marie McDougal till her nose bled hot all over my hand. Nancy Connell till she cried. And I realized they'd let me go home. Competing in the Little Miss Dorchester contest, losing in the picture drawing segment. My sister peeing her pants laughing on 4th of July when Dad locked us out of the house, wondering why I was alive. That naked moment in Park Street Station when my mother claimed she no longer loved me. Swimming like I can fly through water. Being beaten in the tub, being held down under the water. The postman, always smiling, always friendly, then one day gone. My neighbor's puppies and the urge I've felt to put them in the dryer. Lying in the burning snow, thinking about turning 7. How soon I'd have 2 digits. How soon I would be old. My mother crying at her own mother's grave, the sting of her fingers and fists on my back, waiting with the social worker for my parents to arrive, relieved when they don't. Her lipstick on Kleenex and cigarettes, picking them up and hiding them like somehow I had stolen a kiss. We're deep in it now. It was a day my uncle came to visit. This is Uncle Hugh. I remember the day my father punched your face in. We kids were all watching over the banister. We laughed. The story went you came without calling to catch Dad at his worst. You loved seeing him that way. You pretended you came to see us because it was Christmas and you had presents. I wondered what they were. Imagine crisp wrapping papers and bows. Just for a moment, I hoped you'd win. Take the 10 of us out into the night. Somehow we'd fit in the back of your big black car. How it would smell like Aunt Mary's wind song. Oh, we'd drive off into the night and swim in your pool. I can picture your hair, oh, shiny with vitalis, a cleaner version of my father. You wore a tie for nothing. You didn't drink screwdrivers. Your kids didn't know how to make them, but your wife thought she was pretty in her fancy clothes and makeup. Oh, how we loved to make fun of you two. We loved it the day Dad punched your face in. Really, we did. We loved that we never had to see you, see us again. How did it happen that you had a car, that your kids were clean and had nice clothes? How exactly was it that you wore a black suit and shiny shoes while my dad in bare feet and underwear strained to knock your teeth out onto our kitchen floor? So then I have a few poems about the state of being in like a dissociated state when you're in a traumatic environment. I have the terms where I define them, and then the conditions, which is a poem of being in that state. So this one comes right after the dissociation term, and it's called Childhood Rooms. Float like magenta and electric blue dust dots. Forget skin borders. Laugh at things no one sees. Mummified, alive. Stuck and staring and staring. Mind wanders into turrets, towers, brambles, the thicket. Getting hit and hit, not feeling you. Watch from the long corridor. Chorus of voices and colors swirled like soft serve. Dad scares all the clowns in the circus. Mom is God's enforcer. Sin is to say it. Sin is to know. Fear invades each cell like kids' forks in birthday cake. Shame stores memories in attics, belly basements, trunks, boxes. Stories tunnel in like worms. Okay, I'm going to step off that a little. This is a poem about, this poem's called My Mother's Eyes Were Birds. This was in the MacGuffin recently. I was trying to say what many poets have said before, I think, and how to say it in a new way, I don't know. Perhaps my mother had an undiagnosed mental illness and it disturbed me very much as a child. But I say it this way instead. My mother's eyes were birds. Some days they were shy chickadees and others violent chickens, scared, angry, constantly pecking. Oh, there were the buzzard days and seagull days when her eyes cried themselves into two purple whirlpools, swirling slow, sad circles in the skies of our dingy kitchen. On Blue Jay Day, she fought ghosts in the living room. Worm catching days where she wore a robin's red apron, got things done, cleaned house, scoured children. Then there were the ostrich days. She fluttered through the house to her own awkward rhythms. She wore short skirts, drew faces of men and women on her knees and thighs. See how they dance, she chirped. I absorbed her calls and flight patterns. My sister said my mother's true eyes were hiding, that they had once beamed blue like a queen's heart. I searched for them in the filthy pockets of her housecoats, the jewelry box where she kept little nests of our auburn hair. I yearned to hold them in my hands, to wear them like gems, to glimmer in her knowing and wither with her stare. How am I doing on time, Chad?
You're doing great. Keep going.
Okay,
Fantastic.
I have a pontoon. It's a pantoum, I'm sorry. And it's sort of like well, you can Google it. It's like a repetition, you'll hear it. I think pantoum is a great form to contain difficult subject matter. I think it's a good container. But I don't know if this one is so difficult. I don't think so. The night my brother told me. In the dull, airy night, I walked with my brother on the pivotal eve of a transitioning star sign. His skin was stretching him into the other, a werewolf in mourning, surprised to find. The pivotal eve of a transitioning star sign, he was returned to himself again, a werewolf in mourning, surprised to find the waxing and waning cycles of our family men. When he returned to himself again, I urged him to fight as if he had a choice about the waxing and waning cycles of our family men. He spat, gnashed teeth, and began to shout. I urged him to fight as if he had a choice about the 6 inches he grew, the mallets his hands had become. He spat, gnashed teeth, conjured the voices, blended ghosts of fathers and uncles crying as one. With the half-foot he grew, the mallets his hands had become. In the dull, airy night, I walked with my brother. Ghosts of our fathers and uncles cried out as one. He was fighting his own body, becoming someone other. Okay. So then there was religion. So all this time growing up in my early childhood in the 70s in Dorchester, there was, I can't read this poem about busing because it's very long. And I don't know if I have it in me, but there was busing happening in the desegregation of the Boston public schools. And I was also going to Catholic school, and it was very confusing and frightening for a lot of reasons. There were a lot of things that I didn't quite understand. And I was pretty devout, and the nuns told me that everything that they were teaching us was very literal, and I believed that. And, you know, we were taught it. So I'm just saying that there's this section that I call religious abuse. And you probably have to read the book to know more about that, but I have several poems pertaining to religion. I have one in particular about the priest in our parish neighborhood who was allowed to molest children repeatedly and was moved around over and over again. And this is a found poem taken directly from lines of reporting in the Boston Globe by Michael Resendez. Father Mahan found. He was removed, released back into the community. The cardinal was aware. No one else was told, not the police or his own family. He was reassigned with little supervision. Records were kept. Records were sealed. The cardinal was informed. It happened again. He was removed, then reassigned. His sister wrote he was bringing teens to his home. Mahan asked to be defrocked. I'm a sleaze. My disease runs so deep, I can't be trusted. He was removed, then reassigned, received no oversight, ran Boy Scouts, Legion of Mary, summer camp, 2 grades of school. A 12-year-old jumped off his boat, swam to shore to escape. The police were asking questions. They said they were deflected. They said they respected the workings of the church. He was removed. He was reassigned. No one told the families. He molested his own nephews. In 1976, a second grade student told a nun who twisted her arm, "Never say anything like that again." This next one is about when the Pope came to Boston. Does anyone remember that lovely time? I saw him. He went right down to Ponce Ave. It's called Closest to God. Pope John Paul II arrives in Boston in his fancy roofless car close to Tinian Beach, where Bulger buries bodies under the sharp rocks we kids call sand, where we kids sweat like dogs, our tongues panting for bomb pops. His Pope wave renders the crowd silent as church. The Vicar of Christ is debonair, and his white cape and rubied fingers. As his ride slows, I pray he'll throw us bits of candy and gold. He meets my stare, his eyes sapphire knives, cutting away all that isn't mine. I picture my family crushed like ants beneath his wheels. All right, I think I'm getting to the end there, huh?
Sounding like it. Can't wait to buy the
Yeah,
book to read
sounded
the. It sounds like you're coming to a conclusion. Although I can't wait to get the book so I can read the busing poem.
Yeah, and there's stuff about foster care. I don't really have time. It's a little bit about my time at UMass Boston. But I'm gonna end it on a positive note. How's that?
Okay.
So this last one, so there is the final section is post-traumatic growth, right? Post-traumatic resilience, right? Recovery. So this poem, it was on the wall at Boston City Hall under a different name. It was formerly called St. Joan McDade, the Resurrected and Redeemed. Joan McDade is my mother's maiden name. And I decided that the call was from Portia Olewalo, the poet laureate of Boston. It was her first year. She was looking for futurism poems, and I don't know, my brain just sort of went here, and I imagined, what if I raised my mother from the dead and sent her straight up to the heaven I don't quite believe in. Okay, the mothers of Dorchester Bay. And we shall have a new Bible, and the holy name shall be woman. The colleges shall be made free. The classrooms will burst open onto Morrissey Boulevard, and the streets and the monuments shall be renamed. Research shall resume there, where our mothers' names were removed. Their dreams once tread upon shall be made new and gleaming, snapping like sheets in the wind, strung tight between the triple deckers. They shall go no more to priests who devour their sons for being so sweet. No more shall we be divided into parishes and projects. My holy mother, St. Joan McDade, shall be resurrected and redeemed. Oh yes, the mothers of Dorchester Bay will float and rise like new Jesus. All of Boston shall know their stories, and they shall live forever. Bodies unblemished, eyes unblackened. That's all I got. Thank you so much for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can unmute your mics and give all the applause and praise that you see fit to give tonight's feature, Linda Carney Goodrich. Put your hands together virtually or otherwise, at least
Huzzah!
40 times. There you go.
Huzzah! Bravo! Bravo! Encore! Author!
I told you the author. You see, you've heard the author.
The more I heard her read, the redder her hair got, as I realized how Irish she was becoming.
Oh, God.
My face too.
Linda, what are you working on
More
next for your follow-up project?
Oh my goodness, I don't know, because there's so many poems that I couldn't put into this collection. So I feel like there's something else there. But I'm also really taken with other issues in the city that I think go unspoken. So that's just sort of in the back of my imagination. And I'm writing a lot about getting a little bit older. You know, I guess that's probably a topic that's written about a lot, but so what? I'm experiencing it for the first time that I know of. So, yeah.
If only we could all grow old and just say, like, well, you're starting to grow old. You're like, it's been done, and just get your
It's been done. Yeah, why do I have to do
and then get your hair back. But unfortunately, we got to find our own unique take on it. What are you gonna do? But thank you so much for a wonderful reading, and I again direct your attention to the links. I'm gonna try and see if I can put the link for the for Dot Girl. Oops, looks like I need to go back get it again. Dot Girl is on sale from Nixes Mate Press, and you should check out Nixes Mate, the website and the publishing house, because they do a lot of good work, and they've published a lot of our friends. They published me on the journal, on their seasonal journal. They've published David Miller. I think he has at least another book coming out with them, which I'm looking forward to. Or at least that's so I heard. And between them and Linda Carney, I'm sorry, it was Linda Lily Poetry Review. They are they're doing some fantastic. We got people doing fantastic work to make sure that that Boston doesn't lose its poetry scene and its soul. So I appreciate them, and you should too, and definitely support them by picking up the book. I'm going to put the link in again. Oh, I know why that's happening. There we go. Now we're in the main chat. So you should be getting that link now. So definitely buy the book as soon as possible. I'll be looking forward to grabbing my copy very shortly. And praise from many people, including the author of All Souls, Michael Patrick McDonald, who I'm connected to through Less Than 3 Degrees of Separation. I actually know a character in one of his books.
Wow. Yeah, he was really encouraging to me. I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, he really liked the book. That was nice. And he gave me a nice testimonial for my cover. I wanted to say something about Nixes Mate. They are great. And they not only publish books and chapbooks, they also have a journal. So submit your work. What's the worst that could happen? I get so many rejections all the time. I get way more rejections than yeses, but what's the worst that could happen? Just
and there's good people, and Michael McInnes, whenever I run into him, is always encouraging me, and I run into him a lot through my work. Is also encourages me to submit every chance he gets. These people work tirelessly. Anne Elizabeth Pluto,
they really do.
Bornstein, these are people who work their asses off. So definitely consider submitting to the journal. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put in the link to the Nixes Mate as well. And
Annie Pluto, she's the other publisher there. They both, they're working people. They have full-time jobs and they're doing this. So they're approachable.
Yes, and
but she's not a planet anymore.
Oh, geez.
I know it.
That's why she's able to do all this. Her time is freed up.
Pluto should get their planet status back.
I thought they kind of did.
Anyway,
I
thanks
thought we
for
all
coming
kind of
out.
agreed that
I
that
appreciate it.
No, they're Kuiper built objects like Sedna and Eris and all those kind of things.
Jeez.
Disgusting. It is disgusting.
What's
Yeah, but Uranus isn't a Disney character, so it's got that going for it.
Oh, good Lord. We're gonna stop now before
All right.
before this degrades.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the wave. Remember the wave, everybody? Remember your lines, Ken. You should be able to time the wave as perfectly as you time my arrivals and departures. And we are saying goodbye to everyone, and hope that those of you who are joining us for the first time consider coming back, especially for Rich Boucher's feature, which I'm looking forward to. I'm trying to bring the workhorses back to Stone Soup, and the features much more regularly. So it can be like this every week. All we need is you. And thank you guys so much for your time, and look forward to National Poetry Month. The Stone Soup Facebook group, if you're interested in joining, is going to be hosting a members invite only, or you can ask me to, and I'll invite you, a Stone Soup Facebook page for National Poetry Writing Month, where people write a poem a day for a month. You average 30 poems in 30 days, and you try not to break the emergency haiku glass.
Mhm.
So good luck to everyone doing that. Whether you choose to do it with a group or by yourself or publicly on a blog as I do, and good luck to everyone for the rest of this week. And let's hope April's a little kinder than the last 3 months have been. And blessings to everyone, and shout outs to my friends who had to mark themselves safe during the Baltimore Bridge collapse. We miss you, Jackie Oldman. Come back soon. And but thank you guys very much, and have yourselves an excellent evening. Thanks to all attendees and all friends. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Take care,
Yay,
Linda.
bravo.